just under a 300% increase in hay around here.
Hey, cows! Come on, cows, come on! Come on, cows!
Texas blues came night crawling at a Houston gambling dens, transformed its own image like a viper sheds the skin. Don Robles, Peacock Records, was a happening place to be, and that's where Texas blues can trace its legacy.
So what's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This is Ryan from Freedom Foods Farm. Today we have kind of bad news. 2022 has been it's probably going to be a tough year for farmers, for ranchers, for citizens of humanity. We know why, don't want to get into why, but I think we all know why. But we're here, we have to deal with it, and right now one of the things, running cows, having a farm, one of the things that you have to worry about is feeding them. Okay? You have to feed them, water them, make sure that they're good. Rest is self-explanatory. Okay? Cows there, they don't eat this green grass during the dead of winter, so they have to eat hay. And right now we're looking around trying to find some hay because we're being a little bit proactive. Actually, we've been doing it for a while, being proactive to try and get ahead of this crazy hay market, whatever you want to call it. What we're finding is there's about just under a 300% increase in hay around here, and that's a problem. See, we want to make sure that Scarlet here makes it through the winter and can eat beautiful green grass. They've been on this paddock now for about 8 hours after you just saw me move them. But we want to make sure that we can grow as much grass this year as possible. And why is that? Because the more grass that we have, the less hay that we have to feed. And grass is a whole lot cheaper than hay if you can find it. Right now we're doing pretty good. Everybody's happy, everybody's healthy, everybody's got, you know, putting on some weight right now because we are in springtime. End of spring, beginning of summer. Look at Jordan. He looks so happy and he's all fat. That's what we want to see, and that's what we want to see through winter. So we all know gas prices, diesel prices through the roof, fertilizer prices through the roof. Everything that you need in order to make hay has gone exponentially up. Just up, 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 and away. So what are we going to do in order to not have to pay these crazy hay prices? Because the cheaper that we can maintain this herd, the less that we have to sell our beef for at the end of the day. So we have a couple things that we're doing. Normally every year what we like to do is import hay. Why? Because that is a ton of carbon that we can feed right back, hang on, there we go, right back here in our corrals in a deep bedding system. See this here? This is we have this on one side and on the other side. So what we have in here is a whole lot of deep bedding. See, we fed hay in here, and what this is turning into slowly, and I'm probably gonna have to come in here and turn this, is very nice, very sweet smelling compost. So we put a hay bale in here, the cows would poop all around it. You can still see some of their manure pats in here. And this here is turning into rough, but very good compost. And the plan is to take the imported carbon in the hay and their manure that didn't leach out, go running off, it's tied up in this hay and this compost, and spread it back out on the field to turn this place in, to make this place even better. And that's still the plan, what we're gonna do whenever this is ready to be spread out. But the change this year is that we're gonna try everything we can not to have to import hay. That way we're not paying $75 a bale. Because to give you some context, last year we paid $27 a bale. We had a decent deal, and then it was like $5 to have it, you know, delivered. So $33 total. Okay. This year, it's $75 a bale is what the price that I've been getting. Sure, some, you know, oh, 60 here, they're smaller rolls, 65, anywhere from $60 to $75 a bale, and it's trending upward. So that is an almost 300% increase in our hay costs. But things are working out a little bit for us right now, and that is there's a big difference between this year and last year. Last year we only had this farm. This year my dad ended up buying the place across the street, and you guys have seen a couple videos of us getting the pasture all set up for cows, getting the electric fence run. But it grew up to where we still have plenty of grass here, and we had a whole heck of a lot of grass there. So right now it's much cheaper, and it's probably a better just overall business decision in order to bale that up. And as you can see, there's a bale right there. They're actually doing it right as we speak. Now, should you bale your own hay? There's a big debate on that. One, if you do and if you can, you become a closed loop. You're not relying on outside sources. That's a great thing. You know, I always think that, I believe in that. But on the flip side, if you can import hay and import a whole bunch of carbon like what we're standing on right here, that's just gonna make your farm even better. And you tie it up in the form of manure and you spread it out on your fields, it's just gonna make your farm even better. Now, when you hay your fields, what happens is it sets your fields back because you're removing a ton of nutrients from it. So this year, because you know we can have it baled for $31 a bale rather than buying it for $75 a bale plus whatever it's going to cost to ship it here, because it ain't going to be no $5 like it was last year. The trade-off, what we're going to do is we're going to take this and spread it over there. That way we take it and we give it back. So that's the little bit of trade-off that I'm making, and the decision that we've made in order to be able to bring our customers the best quality product at hopefully the lowest price that we possibly can. So why is this happening? I'm not going to get into the politics of it all, okay? Not going to go there. I want to keep this channel as upbeat as possible and just leave the politics for the politicking people who argue about everything, okay? Tell you what, from a weather perspective about why this is happening. Told you already, the cost to make hay, way through the roof. Everything that goes into it, way through the roof. But you combine that with what happened last summer, and that was over a course of about 20 weeks, we got a grand total of 0.3 inches of rain. 0.3 inch? Whatever it is. Basically nothing. And it set us back here a little bit. I don't feel like because we move the cows every day, because we mob graze, and because we try and grow as much grass as possible, I don't feel like it set us back. We just were able to hold the line. A lot of other people set back. So what's gonna happen this year? Is the drought gonna hit us again? Well, let's go inside, and I'm gonna become a weather guesser. You know, I think I have just as good of a chance to get on TV as the experts on TV. So we're gonna go over there, talk about becoming a weather guesser, and kind of go from there, and what I'm thinking and what a lot of people around here that I'm talking to are thinking about as well. So let's head in. All right, here's my attempted drawing at North America, Mexico, and here's part of South America, okay? And we're gonna go over kind of what I think is happening and what others seem to believe as well, okay? Here we are in the great state of Texas right there, okay? See, what's going on over the last couple years, we've had something called La Nina. We all know about El Nino and La Nina. Don't really know too much about it, just that the weather people like to say it a lot. I'm gonna give you the very dumbed down version of it. What happens is the winds like to go this way really fast during this time, and it pushes cold air right here, okay, into the tropical part of the Pacific Ocean towards Mexico here, okay? What happens is when there's cool water here, it pushes the jet stream up this way, kind of like this, and puts most of California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, and part of Louisiana into a drought, okay? Here, look, we'll put the boot, okay? Into a drought. That's what happened to us last year. Now, we do have one saving grace when we get into La Nina conditions. And I love my drawings and I hope you guys can follow along, okay? What happens is because the jet stream gets pushed up here, it ends up being a lot warmer right here in the Gulf of Mexico. And when we have warm in the Gulf of Mexico, that means hurricanes. Now, it sucks for anybody living all right here, but good for us here. It might be our saving grace. And the way that it's going to get determined if we're going to get the rain or not is if you have to look more out here. There's a high pressure system that circulates all right here, and it goes in a circle this way here. So we're going to go like that. So it goes this way. Now when here's Africa, okay? We're drawing the whole world right now. Squiggles. Here's a hurricane. It gets started off the coast of Africa and it comes this way. What happens is if the high pressure remains big here in the Atlantic, then it funnels it all the way here to the Gulf. You get Houston, Corpus Christi, New Orleans, Biloxi, Mobile, and the edges of Florida there. Now what happens if this high pressure here gets small? It gets smaller and still goes the same way. What happens is that the hurricanes, they get pushed into Florida, the Carolinas, Virginia maybe a little bit. If this thing holds on to it more, then you get like that hurricane that hit up in the East Coast. Was it Sandy a few years ago? That's, in a nutshell, we'll call this Ryan's weather, okay? And that's what we're looking at right here. And what we're looking at right now is if this high pressure system holds strong. If that holds strong, then we're gonna get hurricane, and we're here. If we get a hurricane down here, then we'll get the remnants here in Winsboro, okay, in East Texas. We'll be okay, we'll be able to grow some grass. If we don't, like we did last year, we had a couple hurricanes, but what happened is they came on this path and then they veered off this way. And it missed us and we didn't get any of the remnants of it. So we're in a little bit of a predicament right now. It looks like a whole bunch of squiggles, but I hope you kind of follow along with it. So what we're having thrown at us again right now, we're gonna go 2022. This represents the world. Okay, we have prices of everything going up. We have rainfall going down. So right now, hay is $75 a bale. Right about. That's about average right now, which is a little bit scary. When we're not even in summer yet, we're still kind of holding on to spring, moving into summer. Most people aren't thinking hay until August, but that's kind of changing right now. So when this happens, this means this is probably going to go higher. There's already hay being shipped. Last year's hay is all getting shipped out to West Texas or out west because they're even drier than we are. As far as the drought right now, we're holding okay. We're holding onto a lot of water. We were supposed to have it was going to be like this 13-inch rain over the course of 5 days. We got an inch. But that inch we're going to hold on to desperately and try and grow as much grass as we can. So what are we going to do to combat this? Okay, no $75 hay. It might go up to $125 to $150 when things get a little bit more scary in wintertime or something like that. So we're going to have our hay baled at $31 a bale and go from there. Across the street, hopefully that gives us, I was talking to our hay guy right now, another thing that's potentially bad with it too, is that last year he was getting 2 bales per acre. Right now, 1.5 bales per acre. That's not good. That's contributing to that. But because we have more than enough grass right now, I'm very comfortable on where we're at as far as grass wise, we're going to go ahead and bale our 16 acres across the street at $31 a bale. Our goal is to get to 100 bales right here. That's a good number. First year that we were here, we used 17. Smaller herd, not a bad rain year. We didn't get the fall rains, but we had a ton of stockpile. That was great. Last year, like I told you, 0.3 inches of rain. In the summertime, we use 74 bales. That's not good. That's not good. This year, I think because this next go around, we should be able to graze our the 16 acres, I think, because of stuff that we're putting in place. We might need, hopefully we get this down to 50. I'm shooting for 50, but I want 100 just in case things go bad and just to feel very comfortable. With 100, we're set for winter. We'll see you next year. We'll worry about that then. So our 16 acres, hopefully, our hay guy's saying it produces 20 bales. So that's 20% of what we need. Now we're doing some other things to combat this right now. I'm actively looking for leases. I'm actively looking for pasture leases. I've secured 2 shorter term leases, not 10-year leases, 20-year leases. They're, you know, a couple years, month to month kind of thing on the 2. Okay, I got one pasture that's 20 acres. Okay, this is gonna help because we don't have access to this just yet. The deal was they have to come cut the hay off of it right away. Too bad, it's okay. But when it grows up next, we'll probably go and have this made into hay. Hopefully there's enough grass and there's enough time in the year to where we can get a maybe a graze rotation around. That would help big time. We just secured another 10 acres right here with my neighbor, which is really, really awesome. I'm really thankful he's letting us do that. So that's 10 acres. So we went from 30 grazable acres last year. Now the 16 from my dad, the 20 from the one lease, and the 10 from the other. So that brings us to a grand total of, what is that? 76 acres. Now, that puts us in pretty good position. If we can get to that 100 bale threshold, and I feel comfortable, but what I'm also thinking is going to happen is grass is not growing as much, hay prices are going up. That means cattle prices probably going to go down, at least for this summer. I think there's going to be a lot of people selling off. And if we have this 100 bale here, we have more leases, we have more acres that we can graze. That puts us in really good position to where, again, if we get this soon and early, then we might be able to expand the herd. Then we might be able to get some cows on the cheaper side of it and still not get ourselves in trouble through winter. And that might sound like a bad thing, and I don't want anybody to sell off their herds, but it's the reality of what's probably gonna happen around here. I want to put myself in position for that not to happen to us, and then in chaos comes opportunity. So hopefully we might be able, still kind of iffy, depends on how much of this 100 bales that we can get to. We might be able to expand a little bit because we have more acres that we can graze. So we'll see. I don't know. Hopefully things work out. Hopefully nobody has to sell off, and hopefully we get a whole bunch of rain and this whole drought thing gets put behind us and gas and diesel prices and everything goes down. That's number one thing that I'm hoping for. But if not, you have to put yourself in position to capitalize off of it. And I think our plan right now, I've ran this by a few people, they seem to agree with me, and they're kind of doing the same thing. So if you have cows or anything that eats grass, I'd start beginning the process of looking and stocking up as much as you can. And what we're going to do is we're tightening up the cows big time right now. So here's our pasture. Here's the lane going in between it. We're going on about half-acre paddocks right now, and we're having the cows take everything, and we're going real slow, because the slower that we go around on our rotation, the more stockpile that we can build for the winter time. The more stockpile that we build for the winter time, the less hay we have to feed. So, looking kind of scary, looking kind of, you know, doom, gloom, but just prepare for it and you'll be all right. Just remember, proper planning and preparation prevents piss poor performance, okay? So, if you don't want your cows to get skinny in the wintertime because you don't have enough hay, start planning right now.